Hello, boys and girls. Greg from the Scary Spirits Podcast here to make you another cocktail. This week's cocktail is the Mad Scientist number 3, because it's our third Mad Scientist cocktail we've done. We'll start with a beaker with ice. To that, we're going to add 4 ounces melon liqueur. Lime juice, 1 ounce. Lemon juice, 1 ounce from the plastic lemon. Finally, club soda, 4 ounces. Then we stir to combine. And boys and girls, this actually is supposed to make 2 cocktails, but I only had a big beaker. I did not have 2 small beakers, so I made 1. Very lemon-limey. A little tart. Well, not bad. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the podcast. See ya.
I've got a question for you. Do you think it's better to be smart or lucky? In this week's episode of the Scary Spirits Podcast, I was a teenage Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein pushes the envelope with both. But boy, is this guy lucky. Need teenage body parts? There's an instant crash right outside your house with 2 fiery cars full of teenagers. Need to dispose of said body parts? No worries. There's an alligator pit right under your house. Have an inconvenient fiancé? Use your monster to your best advantage. It's a shame all this luck is wasted on such a horrible man. This is 2 weeks straight of the doctor being more of the monster than the actual monster. I hope it's not a trend. Cheers!
Welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and/or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Greg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast, the podcast that combines the 2 very different but highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Greg?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
It is what we do.
Karen, I believe this film was your choice, was it? Was it not this week?
It was.
Tell us, Karen, what film have you regaled us with this week?
I chose the film I Was a Teenage Frankenstein.
Any reason you chose that film, Karen?
Well, Mary Shelley's birthday's coming up. Then if you listen to this in order, it will be Saturday. And when this comes out on Wednesday, it'll be a couple days later on Saturday, which is the 30th of August.
Yes, it is. Look
And
at you,
no,
Karen.
I don't know how old she will be. So if you're going to ask me, I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't know.
I should have had that ready. As good a reason as any, I am sure. Do we have a cocktail to go along with this wonderful
We
film
do.
from 1957?
Oh, I thought it was 58.
Nope, 57, Karen. The Roman numerals in the beginning were MCMLVII.
Okay, I didn't look at that, but yes, we do have a cocktail.
And what would that be?
It's our third Mad Scientist cocktail.
Mad Scientist number 3.
Yes.
Tell us, how would we make such a concoction?
You're going to need 4 ounces of melon liqueur, 1 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of lemon juice, and 4 ounces of club soda. You're going to fill, this is for 2. Oh, I just realized I put a lot of melon liqueur in my drink. Okay.
Oh, I
2
just realized I just made one.
Fill 2 8-ounce beakers or flasks with ice to each glass, whatever you decide to use. Add 2 ounces of melon liqueur, half an ounce of lime juice, and half an ounce of lemon juice. Stir to combine. Top each with about 2 ounces of club soda. Serve and enjoy. So did you find your beaker? Because
I did.
I did.
That's why it's one big one, because my beaker, the only one I have, well, I have 2 of them, oddly enough, but they're both the same size, Karen. Like 600 milliliters.
Oh, mine's only 400. Mine's tall and thin.
Mine is short and fat.
Yes, it is. Cheers.
I could have divided it into 2 glasses, but I'm like,
It's
do I
it's-
really want to dirty 3 pieces of glassware to make this cocktail, Karen?
No, you do not.
All right, should we give our friends and listeners time to make their own Mad Scientist number 3?
Let's do that.
Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Karen, might you have a brief synopsis for us?
I do.
Go on. Tell us all a story.
Professor Frankenstein creates a teenager from an accident victim who gets angry when he learns he is going to be taken apart.
Thank you, Karen. We are a match. That kind of gives too much away, I think.
True.
I'm glad I did not really know it before I started watching the film.
I didn't know it either. So obviously you've never seen this before.
No, Karen, I have not. I have seen one brief piece of it.
Really?
Yes. In an Iron Maiden video, Karen.
Oh, awesome. I got some Iron Maiden in early.
Yeah, the same video that the devil thing was in. What was the
The
film
Devil
we did?
Rides Out.
The Devil Rides Out. Yeah, the same one that had the clip from The Devil Rides Out. Same music video. Well, we'll get to it
Okay.
when the time is
Stay tuned, everyone.
when the time is right. All right, Karen, tell us everything you really enjoyed, or quite possibly pleasantly surprised by in this film that you've chosen for us.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised actually by the whole thing. I was expecting something completely different. From what little I knew about it, I expected pure camp. Like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, that kind of camp. Because what little I'd seen about it had said it's so bad it's good, those kind of things. So I was expecting something different. So I was pleasantly surprised by the whole thing. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I might have been it's not good. I mean, I don't want to come on here and say this is an excellent film. You should, but it's completely different than what I expected it to be. They took it seriously. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. I kind of liked it because I was surprised by what it was. The acting's not good. The sets are very plain. It's a B movie. And I don't think it's any worse than any of the other ones we've seen if we put it in a category, like Reptile Woman or Attack of the 50-Foot Woman or whatever. I don't think it's any worse than those. Nothing really stood out to me as really good. There are some homages to the original, which I thought were nice touches. A couple of scenes, like he looks in the window and sees the girl. There's something with a flower. There's a slight touch on music, very slight, but you could see callbacks to the original, which I thought was nice to have added in there. I didn't even hate the mask. I mean, it was obvious it was a mask, but it was okay. The whole thing was okay. And I was, as I said, pleasantly surprised by that. What about you, Greg? Did you like anything about it?
The first thing I wrote, even before the film started, was, well, it's a small cast.
It is very.
I was like, well, I got that going into it. So I got one thing at least. And I didn't think the acting was bad at all. I wrote the acting is actually, I thought it was pretty good. It was a lot better than what I expected.
It was a lot better, right?
And it is much better than the other B movies we have seen, I think.
Well, it's certainly not worse.
It's like 10 times better than Plan 9.
True, but Plan 9 is an entity all in itself.
That's all I wrote.
Yeah, I don't think anything sticks out. There's nothing that you're just like, ooh.
So let me ask you this. Did you watch it on YouTube?
I did.
There were several available. Which one did you watch?
Oh, God, I couldn't even tell you. I looked at a couple. They all said 1 hour and 12 minutes. So I didn't think there were pieces missing.
Okay.
Did you watch one that was longer or shorter?
No, I didn't. But the first one I chose, I started watching it. And as it's going, this was earlier. I wasn't like actually paying attention to it. I was reading the description of the YouTube channel, and it was colorized.
Oh, I did not see a colorized one.
Okay. So I kind of liked the thing at the end when they changed the color.
I think that was shocking back in the day.
Yeah. But that's all. That's all I got. Anything you did not care for, Karen?
There is kind of sequel potential too. It's limited, but it's there. Again, this is the second Frankenstein film in a row where Frankenstein's just awful. The doctor's awful. Unnecessarily awful, I think. Just very unlikable in multiple situations, constantly almost.
And the last film we did was Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, starring Peter Cushing.
Who is much better, but still it was an unlikable character. But this guy is just awful. And I usually kind of side with okay, I don't side with the scientist doing what Frankenstein does, but I can see where you're trying to advance science, or, I can kind of empathize a little bit. But this one, I was like, yeah, no, don't like him at all.
I'm shocked, Karen. I'm shocked.
I didn't like the ending. I think it would have been a much cooler ending if everybody in the lab had died and Frankenstein walked out like a normal teenager. I'd have been like, now that would have been a better story, because it would have been colorized. So the last scene, the whole movie's in black and white, not to spoil it for everyone, but the last scene is colorized. Once he gets shocked
it's in color.
to die. Yeah,
it's filmed in color.
Sorry, it's filmed in color. I used the wrong word. You're right. And don't you think if like everybody was on the ground, he just walked out? I thought that would have been a much better
into
ending.
A colorful world.
Yes.
It's kind of like Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah, like that would have been really cool. It has, again, it's more of the Rocky Horror Picture Show creating the monster than the original Frankenstein monster. They're creating a beautiful monster, kind of. I don't know if I like or don't like that. It's interesting, but there are so many things the things that I found funny are they'll be talking in the lab. Well, we're going to need some teenage bodies. Bam! There's this huge car wreck right outside their house. 2 flaming cars full of teenage bodies. Or, oh, we need to get rid of a body. What are we going to do? Well, let's just open this little door here and throw him in the alligator pit that just happens to be at the bottom of my house. That kind of thing.
You're giving it all away, Karen.
Those are the places that made me chuckle. It's lazy kind of screenwriting, but I get it. It's an hour and 12 minutes, and I'm not going to complain because it could have even been shorter. Really. I mean, it didn't really drag or anything, but it could have been shorter. That's all I have. Do you have anything that you didn't like?
First thing I wrote is the mask ain't great.
It's okay.
It ain't great though. That if it would have been better without the eyeball,
True.
because the eyeball does nothing. It just
Yes.
sits there because it's part of a mask.
And I almost think they admit that when a group of people are being interviewed by the police and one of them says, I think it was a mask they got at the drugstore. Like he says that. So I think they kind of know.
Yeah. The other thing I wrote, this is all I wrote. It's the second Dick Frankenstein in a row.
We needed to spread them out.
It's the second Dick Frankenstein in a row. I did say earlier the acting was pretty good, but the guy who plays the monster, he ain't great. Now that I'm thinking about it, everyone else was good. Like you said, they were playing it serious. They weren't.
They were acting.
Yes, they
Like
weren't camping it up.
No. I don't know if he wasn't good or the direction of how he was supposed to play it wasn't good. You know,
I don't know.
he was handsome at the end, though. He looked like a young
Whatever. It's
Marlon
silly. It's
Marlon
silly when
Brando.
he's just like staring into the mirror.
Well, yes, he did get a little.
Smiling and looking at his face. I'm
I
so
don't know.
beautiful.
I might.
We don't
do
know
that
what he
now.
looked like before.
We didn't look like that because they just.
Do we know? We don't know.
No, he could have been more handsome, but
He could have been.
I don't think he was from how he reacted. But he has
maybe
a
doesn't
teenage
remember.
brain.
Maybe he doesn't remember what he looks like.
Well, he remembered being in the car crash.
No, he just remember he doesn't like cars.
True.
He doesn't remember being in the crash.
Well, I don't know if they put a 17-year-old face on my face now. I guess if it was my face, maybe it'd be okay.
Your 17-year-old face.
Maybe 25. So in the end, I think it's just better than I thought. I give it props. I haven't seen I Was a Teenage Werewolf. I haven't seen any of those types of movies, but they put effort into this one, and I think it was okay.
Have you seen Blood of Dracula?
Have we seen Blood of Dracula?
No, not this one.
Okay. But it sounded familiar, like maybe we did.
No, we haven't seen this
Okay.
one. But it was
All right.
it was the double bill of this.
Oh.
And it was done by the same people.
Using the same set?
I don't know. Possibly. Maybe we will find out, Karen.
Uh-oh.
In a later episode.
I so look forward to it.
I'm making notes.
That's not a Hammer film.
No, but I'm almost done with the Hammer thing, so I might just start doing B movies. We'll see.
Well, that'll be something. I don't think you'll be pleasantly surprised by all of those.
No, but maybe they're so bad they're good.
They are fun, though.
No, I have nothing else. Anything else to add, Karen?
I don't think so.
All right, what kind of cocktail rating do you want to give this? I haven't even thought about it. So
So hard. I think, though, because I went in with such low expectations, I'm leaning towards a 3.
No. It's got to be a 4.
I guess, but I don't know.
It has to be a 4, Karen. I'm sorry.
Well, then obviously you have thought about it.
Just now, because I
I'd give people.
had a
I'd give it a
feeling
3.
you were going to go that way.
Well, who put you? Who made you? You're not the boss of me. Like, why does your star rating stand and mine doesn't?
Because I post it on the website.
That's true. I don't have control over that. I think it's a 3, but Greg's going to post it as a 4. So there
Come
you
on,
go.
Karen. It's worse. It's better than a lot of some of the 4s we've done. I'll give it that. But it's got to be a 4.
It's a high 4 then. Or a low, depending on how you look at it. It's closer to a 3 than a 4.
I would give it a 3. Well, I don't know.
I'd give it
I'd
a
say
3
maybe
if it
it's
had
a
my
little
ending.
campy. It was a little more campy. Oh yeah, your ending. Oh yeah, it's a three definitely then.
Because then there's sequel potential. It's all out there. Everything, is he going to crack later? And then they could do, I was a middle-aged Frankenstein. See what happens.
Some of the lines in there are really good though, but
Yeah.
they're delivered so straight that they're not as funny, I guess.
I guess, and there is one other thing now that I think about it that I remember thinking while I was watching it. They didn't really explore the fact that it was a teenage Frankenstein. I mean, there's a little bit involving that, but there should have been more character growth there or something. I don't know how to explain it, but to differentiate it, he did want to keep going out and being outside, but we didn't really get a feeling that he wanted to be with people his own age or think of how, he could have excelled in
Yeah.
football.
He,
He had a football leg and wrestler hands. They could have went somewhere with that stuff.
yeah, you'd think he'd want to be with girls.
Oh, true, but but we kind of get that when he's watching the girl. But I'm just saying, again, it is what it is. But they could have done something where he threw a football or something where you saw that he had this extra strength, or really, or he went out and mingled a little bit with the teenagers and then realized he had super strength or something. I don't know.
Started jogging with some teenagers
I
around
don't
the
know.
track,
Like, yeah,
and all of
or
a sudden, just like zoom, it went right past them.
yeah, or threw a football. That would have been campier. See, we wanted camp.
All right, I'm giving it four cocktails. Would you like to hear a review from the time?
I'm a little bit scared to hear a review of the time because it could go either way on that one. But sure, let's listen.
Well, it's the late 1950s, so we'll see. First, I have to tell you, Karen, this has a 5.1 out of 10 on IMDb, a 33% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. What do you think those Google users say?
I'm starting to think that Rotten Tomatoes are like real critics and really kind of hone in on
Or people who think
filmmaking.
they are?
Well, right. And who are highly critical or at least very sophisticated in their reviews. And I don't think Google users are. So I'm gonna go like 80%.
87%,
See?
Karen.
I love my Google users.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it for a second. That's a little high, though. 87, that's high.
That's a high. Yeah. I would say 80, 75 to 80 for Google would be, I went high end. I was going to say 75, but I went a little higher just to prove my point.
The review I have is from the New York Times, Karen,
Uh-oh.
dated January 30th, 1958. Apparently, this came out like November of 57 by a Richard W. Nason or Nason. He just goes by RWN when he writes. So, and it's short. I'll read the whole thing.
Also doesn't bode well.
As if by grim coincidence, I was a teenage Frankenstein arrived at the Paramount yesterday at a time when the city's newspapers were carrying banner accounts of the deepening crisis brought on by teenage violence, Karen.
Ooh.
It is difficult to disassociate what was happening on screen from the day's occurrences in the real world. Both were concerned with acts of physical violation. If you discount any immediate connection between the mass media and the temper of the culture, then the film warrants little attention. It is the old story of the mad scientist played by Whit Bissell who wants to advance human progress by creating the ideal human being. In this case, however, the automation enacted by Gary Conway is a teenager assembled from the limbs of other teenagers. This is, in one sense, abhorrent. It forces one to acknowledge the impression that such films may aggravate the mass social sickness euphemistically termed juvenile delinquency. Since a whole series of movies slanted to the teenage market is expected in the months to come, it may be as good a time as any to raise the question of what effect this further indulgence of the cult of quote unquote teenism ultimately could have.
Sounds like a boomer.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah. He's like, get off my lawn, critic. Write that down. RWN.
In this particular film, there are graphic displays of human dismemberment. Before one such act of surgical perversion, the mad doctor's assistant says, I have no stomach for it.
That poor guy.
That would be a plausible reaction for any adult who had read the day's headlines about teenage crime.
Oh, my Lord.
Get off my lawn!
He is definitely get off my lawn. Wow. Don't you feel like more hip now after reading that? I'm not so bad. I'm old, but I'm not that cranky.
All right, before we get into it scene by scene, Karen, whose film is it next week?
That would be you.
Oh, is it mine?
It is.
All right.
What have you chosen for us?
The film I have chosen, Karen,
Is from the Hammer
is
Company.
a Hammer production called The Quartermass Experiment.
Oh my goodness.
It is, according to the list I am following, the very first Hammer horror film
I was thinking it was going to be one of the really later ones. That
from 1955.
sounds like a sci-fi one.
Indeed.
Do you have a drink to go with it?
I do, Karen.
Well, wait, before you tell us that, why did you choose this one? Is it just because it's the first Hammer film, or is there some association we should know about?
Just because it's the first Hammer film.
Hammer horror film that we're going to
Yes.
do. Okay. All right. Well, what drink do you have to go with it?
The drink I have is called the Quartermass Cocktail.
Did you AI create it, or does it
No,
actually
no.
exist?
Well, I found it on a website, Karen.
Somebody wrote about it? Like,
It's another podcast. I've used one of theirs before.
well, who are they? So we know.
It's from the Monster Movie Happy Hour podcast.
Sounds like a fun podcast, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does, doesn't it? And as I said, I've used one of their cocktails before. And I will link to their show in the show notes. So
So I'm guessing they
Check
watched
'em
this
out.
movie.
they did.
Okay. But you didn't listen to it, did you?
No.
Not because we wouldn't listen to another podcast. That's not why.
No, but I
It's
might
so that-
listen to it now.
Right.
I won't listen to it beforehand.
But we don't like to
Before we
listen.
do, yeah.
Yeah, before we talk about it. So we're not unduly influenced, Greg. We're not
Yes.
under the influence of anything.
Correct. So we're going to need 1.5 ounces of vodka, 3/4 ounce honey syrup, which is 50% honey, 50% warm water,
Oh, okay.
3/4 ounce lime juice, and 2 ounces apple cider or juice. We're going to combine all that in a shaker with ice. We're going to shake and strain into a low ball glass. Sprinkle with sugar and cinnamon, Karen.
Ooh, sounds very fall.
And of course,
Autumnal.
add dry ice for effect.
Of course.
And then
That's right.
enjoy.
Okay.
So that will be next week.
Well, that will be interesting. I wonder if that's the first one. Do you know what the last one was?
Yes.
Okay. It's not the cabin one we watched, is it? The lodge?
No, it is not. There has
But it-
been at least one since then. And
Okay.
I believe there is one currently in the works.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that I want to see the most recent one though. So, but we'll see.
I think you kind of have to.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't
I'll-
know that I do. Yes, we did the lodge and there's been one since then. And then there's one in works. I think it's supposed to come out this year.
Okay.
So there you go. All right, Karen, are you ready to get into it scene by scene?
Yes.
How was a Teenage Frankenstein from 1957? As we both said, we watched it on YouTube,
There are many copies on YouTube.
but find the black and white version.
Yes, for the full effect.
It is not rated. It was originally rated X, though, in the United Kingdom.
They were tough over there.
But I don't know what that means. Probably meant like 16 and up or something.
Maybe.
Film starts, we have credits.
Yes, and immediately I thought I'm watching the wrong film because
Why?
all it said was Teenage Frankenstein.
Yes,
It didn't say I was a. And I thought, oh man.
true.
But I checked another one and I checked two other ones and they all started the same. So I said, okay, this is it.
Yeah, the I Was a Teenage Frankenstein is the US title. Teenage Frankenstein is the United Kingdom title.
That explains that.
Because for some reason, we have to name everything different. So I don't know. Just to be
We're
difficult.
rebellious. We're rebellious.
Yes, we are.
They're not the boss of us.
That's right. We will call it what we won't. All right. And I wrote, we're at a school question mark.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But it looked like a high school, like Withrow in Cincinnati or something.
Yes, it
But
did.
it's, I think, supposed to be a college or a medical college because we get right into a medical lecture.
Yeah.
Like
Professor,
what we would call a symposium because there is
we
a
would, we would,
yes, because there's
we
a
would.
professor speaking, there's a moderator, and then there's the audience.
Okay. So that's what Karen would call a symposium. I would not call it a symposium.
What would you call it?
A lecture.
Well, no, because a lecture is
See?
you have students. All right.
That's
Sorry.
what I'm talking about. Right there.
I'm right.
Professor, I'm sure she is. Professor Frankenstein is giving a symposium about transplanting organs.
Yes, he is.
And he mentions that they already know how to transplant eyes. And so, they could, why not go for the gusto? But Dr. Randolph objects to his theories. He's a
Yeah,
fun sponge, Karen.
he is a fun sponge, and I thought there was a little foreshadowing here, but it turns out not to be. He goes, "My own son is a sophomore in high school, and he wouldn't swallow this theory." And I thought, "Uh-oh." That wasn't a good thing to spout off about, but it doesn't go anywhere.
But Frankenstein says he will prove his theories. Then he says, "Good day, gentlemen." Good day.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of thing where Frankenstein's talking crazy. All the other doctors are like, you can't do that. And Frankenstein says, yes, I can. Takes his bat and ball and goes home. Like, he just thinks they're all stupid. And in the end, when in the he's right. He does all the things, but still.
Next, we're in a laboratory. And of course, we have the Jacob's ladder going on. And Dr. Carlton, who I guess was the moderator in this symposium, Karen.
Yes.
Okay. Asked Professor Frankenstein if he was upset with Dr. Randolph's rebuttal. And we learned Dr. Carlton has always supported Professor Frankenstein. Frankenstein tells Dr. Carlton of his plan to assemble a human being from different body parts from cadavers. Then we have a little speech about selective breeding or something.
Yeah,
Karen.
it wasn't good.
What was that all about? Smart people mating with smart people, making more smart people.
Yeah, but that doesn't always work.
It
But
doesn't.
yes, he's trying. It's not politically correct in this day and age, but what he's, I think, trying to say is the same thing that the last Frankenstein, who was not a nice guy, was saying. We need to preserve the intelligent people. So we need to only procreate based literally intelligence. And so that's what he was talking about.
Then Professor Frankenstein references Baron Frankenstein,
That he's a descendant. It's in my genes.
and he hopes to create a perfectly normal human being, unlike Baron Frankenstein.
It's in my blood, he says. It's my heritage.
We learned Dr. Carlton is a doctor of physics.
He tries to back
He's
out.
afraid he may not be able to help.
He's like, I just don't think I'm your man. Like he's just like trying all these little subtle things like, no, I want to find someone else. But nope, doesn't work.
Professor Frankenstein says he's just what he needs because he's a
Controllable is what he is.
doctor of physics. This next thing I wrote is youth is the salvation of mankind. Is that what he says? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, he says something about the youth not having worn out bodies like old people.
Then we hear a car crash, Karen.
Yeah, so that's what I alluded to earlier. They're talking back and forth, and Dr. Carlton is kind of like, well, where are you going to get the bodies? Like presumably a lot of young people aren't passing away and recently buried in the cemetery or in the morgue because, and then boom. Oh my God, there's 2 cars full of teenagers burning to death right now.
Yes. Cut to a
It's not
head-on
funny,
collision.
but
It's not, but cut to a head-on collision involving 2 cars full of teenagers. And one of the witnesses says, coming back from a party, I presume. But apparently one was ejected. And he says he'll probably bleed to death before the police get here.
he can't go and look at them.
No.
So he's not a witness of that. So conveniently, one body has been thrown clear of all the others. And, they just need to basically go collect that one. No one will know.
Hello, boys and girls. Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast. Karen and I really have a great time putting these episodes together. If you enjoy what you hear, please consider taking the time to leave a review wherever you listen. Reviews really help independent podcasts find listeners. The more listeners we have, the easier it is for people to find us. Now, back to the show.
Cut to Carlton and Frankenstein carrying a body into the house.
And down the stairs to the ever-present basement lab.
All the bodies were burned in the crash. Frankenstein thinks he can get away with stealing a body.
Yeah, because Carlton's kind of the voice of reason. He's like, how are we going to pull this off? Frankenstein's like, don't worry. We've got burning kids out there. They'll never be able to place those bodies back together. They won't notice that one's gone.
And Frankenstein says apparently the temperature is ideal for unembalmed bodies.
Yes, because Carlton goes, oh, it's cold in here. And Frankenstein says, it's 36 degrees, the ideal temperature for unembalmed bodies. And you know what, Greg?
What?
He's right. Which I just got a real ding on my computer. The ideal temperature for storing an unembalmed body in a standard mortuary cooler is between 36 and 39 degrees. This temperature range significantly slows the natural decomposition process, preserving the body's integrity for a reasonable period, typically a few weeks, to allow families time to make funeral arrangements. Temperatures below freezing are used for longer-term preservation in forensic settings, but they are generally not preferred for viewable remains. I expect someone to be knocking at my door tomorrow morning, but there you have it.
Frankenstein asks Carlton to describe his condition, the condition of the teenager. Dr. Carlton says possible brain injury. He just says his face is unrecognizable as well.
And again, he's saying, I don't think I'm your guy. And Frankenstein gets frustrated with him because he doesn't. He's like, what? No, what does he actually look like? What's wrong with him? And I'm thinking, you look at him. Like, what? You would still end up looking at him, even if I described to you what the issue was. You'd probably still take a gander to make sure I was correct.
And they store the body in their little morgue there they have in the basement for the night. Put him in the drawer. Frankenstein has been assembling necessary parts for some time, Karen, apparently.
Yes.
Once again, Carlton is not sure he can help. Frankenstein tells Dr. Carlton they are in this together.
Yeah, he blackmails him somehow.
He asks Dr. Carlton to assemble an X-ray machine because he's going to need it, even though we never ever see it ever again. Ever.
But we get a sense that Carlton helped him with some sort of experiment, and it was not on the up and up.
Cut to a dinner party. We're having a toast to Frankenstein. He has to return to England, sadly.
You know what? Stop right there. That is one of the things I did not like. He's supposed to be English.
He is, but he's not.
Has a complete American accent. And he even at times says, oh, you Americans. I forgot about that until you just said it. But yes, he makes no attempt at an English accent.
Yeah,
which
I forgot about that as well.
It's fine because if you butcher it, that makes it worse. But then just why? He didn't need to be British. because he has to leave. That's one of the reasons. But he could have just been on sabbatical from teaching and have to go back or something.
So then Frankenstein's nurse, Margaret, does not want to see him leave, Karen.
No, they're all toasting to him leaving, and then you look over and poor little Margaret sat on the couch.
But they make a love connection. It's looking up for Margaret.
Yep.
And
She's a
Frankenstein.
pretty woman.
Frankenstein asked her to help him for the next couple months before his visa expires. And then he basically proposes.
Well, he says, let's work side by side so we can get closer and stay together.
And he wants her to be his secretary.
His assistant, he calls her, but she's basically, but he says once the experiment is done, then we'll be together forever. But he doesn't want, and he wants her to keep everyone away. No phone calls, letters, no visitors, no nothing.
And he offers her a room at the house he is staying.
Yes, but the housekeeper will be the chaperone.
If they need one, Karen.
Yeah, and then they kissy face. And she says, and then she says, I'll move in tomorrow. So she's a nurse at the hospital. She has to quit her job. She has a room at the hospital. She's just like, I'll move in tomorrow. But we don't know how long they've been together. Doesn't seem like one of those 24-hour things. It's obvious that they have been dating or something for a while.
Cut to surgery, examining the body. Some body parts will need to be amputated. Frankenstein tells Carlton to raise his body temperature to normal. So we have more Jacob's ladders. And he does say, what I create, I must control. So then we see Margaret taking calls, typing on a typewriter. Frankenstein is seeing no one.
I said they should have had the lights dim up there, while she was.
Cut to the surgery again, removing body parts. He pulls out a bone saw, I guess.
Yeah, I said at least they have the saw. And his whole point is they do need to remove some body parts. I mean, that's his whole experiment, right?
And they're all burned up anyway.
Yeah, but the fact that he needs new hands and a new leg is serendipitous for their whole experiment. But this is another one of the films where they're in pure white outfits using the bone saw, but when they're done, there is not a speck of blood on them.
Dr. Carlton seems a little squeamish. He is uncertain, and we see them removing a leg and a hand, like you said.
2 hands, yeah.
So then they're going to give the body a transfusion, or he says they will. Carlton asks Frankenstein what he's going to do with the body parts to dispose of them.
Okay, wait, I have a note here. I was like, Dr. Carlton is having a hard time. And I go, that would be me. This is me and Greg in the operating room. I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I can't do it. You'd be like, give me the saw. I'd be like, I don't know. It's got a needle. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, go ahead. Carlton asks a very astute question.
Yeah, what are you going to do with the body parts?
Yeah, you can't just bury them or burn. I don't know why you couldn't burn them, but he said you can't. Either. Because those things will be discovered, he says. The burying I get, but Frankenstein's like, no problem. I already have that figured out.
Yeah,
that
he says he is prepared.
Yes.
He opens the laundry chute, leading to an alligator down below. Puts the body parts in.
A very hungry one.
So then we have words to read. A newspaper headline, mass funeral for teenage victims.
Yes, that just happened to occur right where they live, or near them anyway.
Yeah, Frankenstein reading about a plane crash. A bunch of athletic boys were killed.
He's like, oh, what a shame. Those young athletic bodies that have been trained for strength and excellence. He kind of goes, I was like, that's a little creepy.
More words to read. Fallbrook Cemetery. Frankenstein and Dr. Carlton leaving with bodies in the trunk.
Yeah, they don't spend any time showing them dig or anything. They just throw those bodies in the back of the trunk, wrapped up in sheets, of course.
The trunk of his 1957 Lincoln Premier sedan.
I was wondering if you were going to know what car it was.
1957 Lincoln Premier sedan. What do you think that car goes for now? I didn't look up the original retail, but what
I
do you
have
think it
n-
goes for now?
I have no idea. $11,280.
So in good condition, it's worth about 20 grand.
No, it's not too bad.
No, but they seem to be going for between five and six or seven currently.
Oh,
Those are the most recent ones that have sold. But in high, like a mint, it's like
wow.
$275,000.
It was a car of the times, that's for sure. If you looked at it, you'd say that's a 1950s car, right?
Yeah. So we
Which is
have,
another thing to kind of like about this movie too, is it was set in the time that it was filmed. And so there wasn't a lot of, oh, these costumes don't match up or that they're not in horses with
right,
horse-drawn
it's of the
carriages.
time.
Yes. So,
And we learned they had body parts of a wrestler and football star.
yes. Hands of the wrestler and leg of the football star.
Cut to dinner. Margaret feels neglected.
She's sulking, man. She's mad, pouting.
They decide to go for a drive in the 1957 Lincoln Premier sedan.
She complains, "You're ignoring me." Well, he did propose, and then he just isn't around. He's either downstairs doing his experiments or writing in his lab book or whatever.
Margaret wants to park and look at the view.
Yes.
She takes him to Lover's Lane and she wants to make out, Karen. Just like the teenagers.
Yeah. And I thought, why are we going here? But we do come back around.
Come back to the lab. I guess Professor tries to get the creature to speak. They give it some electricity and question it again, and the creature speaks.
Yeah, there's some political underlying in this movie, which I wasn't really tuned into because he says Carlton and Frankenstein are kind of arguing because Carlton's like, you're pushing him too hard. He's like the nice, like, let's coddle them, let's make them feel, and then Frankenstein's no, he says he should be talking like a congressman at a filibuster right now or something. So there's something there, there's lines like that in it that I'm not familiar enough with the time to know what kind of dig that is, but I'm sure it's a dig.
Creature does eventually speaks. I wrote, it's dark and it cries.
Okay.
Oh, the creature cries.
Yes. So he finally Frankenstein's getting very frustrated. He's like, your brain is intact. You should be able to, and you should be able to see out of at least one of your eyeballs. And Carlton thinks they're pushing him, but Frankenstein starts commanding him to say good morning. He's trying to get him to say good morning. And finally he does it. But he says he doesn't like the dark because they can bring him, they sort of shock him and then put him more into what's the state where it's not a coma, but you're not, I don't know. They're manipulating him. So when he doesn't want to go back in the drawer because it's dark. And the best part is not the best part, but this tells you what kind of person Frankenstein is because the creature says it's dark. He doesn't want to go back in and starts to cry. And Frankenstein says, "Oh, look, even the tear ducts work." Instead of even being concerned at all that the creature is upset, he's just excited that the tear ducts work. So he's missing a lot of he doesn't have empathy.
See Frankenstein in his office. There's a knock at the door. It's Margaret. Frankenstein lets her in. She wants to make wedding plans, Karen. She wants to talk about the wedding. Frankenstein has too much work to do. His experiment is the most important thing to him. He refuses to tell her what he's doing. And she says, well, I may have ways to find out myself. And he slaps her.
Yeah. And all I have in my notes is run, 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 run away, Margaret.
And then she says, I don't care if you ever tell me. And he says, well, that's better.
Yes.
But he apologizes and they kissy face and she forgives him.
Of course. She won't interrupt him again. And he says, good. He's awful.
But then at the end, she kind of cops an attitude. And tells him that she'll be the best watchdog he ever had. I'll make my way back to the kennel. I'll be the
Well,
best watchdog
because he
you
then
ever
tells
had.
her that he cannot be interrupted for the next 72 hours, and she's not happy about that. But she does say she's not, Oh, but then he and Carlton leave, and I said, oh, she's going to follow them. But then I'm like, no. And I said, why is she taking her purse down to the lab? Because I go, oh, she's going down to the lab. But she's carrying her purse. I'm thinking, is she going to leave it there so they know she was there or what? But Margaret's a little smarty pants.
She is. Takes her purse, goes down to the lab, and she uses some clay and puts it in the lock so she can have a key made.
Yes. Look at go, Margaret.
That won't work though, but
I know, but it does in this situation. Just happened to have the clay in her purse too.
yeah, and she gets all this done in 72 hours too.
Well, or even less.
Yeah.
Because I thought she should just wait until they leave another time. I thought, like, she's cutting it close here.
But she gets her key made and then she enters and she tries to open the morgue drawers, but they're all locked except for the one that's holding the creature, Karen.
I know.
She opens that one and the creature rises. Margaret screams and pushes it back in and runs away. Then we have a scene of Frankenstein teaching the creature. He tells him, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing.
He's doing physical and mental stimulation. So we see him lifting weights and all this stuff. But what he says, the verse about false prophets, as I'm sure you remember, Greg, is Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. This verse highlights the deceptive nature of false prophets who appear harmless but are actually dangerous. It says this passage emphasized that false prophets can be identified by their fruits or actions. Just as good tree produces good fruit and bad tree produces bad fruit, the actions of a prophet reveal their true nature. So it's not what they say, it's what they do. But again, I have a feeling there's something political here, but I don't know. Because who else would be false prophets for the creature only knows Frankenstein and Carlton.
Creature knows it's from the Bible. And Frankenstein is glad that he has some religious schooling.
But he's doing weights, and so he's got a nice physique, the little teenager there.
Creature says he will obey Frankenstein.
Yeah, and Frankenstein mentions multiple times during this process that if he creates it, he controls it. And even something like Carlton wants to numb the pain, and Frankenstein's like, no, I want him to feel pain so he can know that I can take away his pain.
Frankenstein leaves the creature with Dr. Carlton. Creature exercising, lifting weights. Creature says he is not happy. He wants to walk among people. Creature wants
Obviously,
to know
he remembers people.
Why he can't. Well, Frankenstein tells him he can't and wants to know why. Frankenstein says he will show him. He cuts the bandages from the creature's head, shows him a mirror so he can see his hideous face.
And the mirror was locked up, so he had to undo the cabinet to get to it.
Frankenstein tells him he will stay there until he makes him look fit to move among people.
But again, he's controlling his whole destiny. If you don't listen, I'm not going to put your pretty face on you and you'll be stuck here forever.
Frankenstein leaves, but he leaves the door open.
Wide open.
And the creature leaves.
He just
and
walks
begins
out.
exploring the house. Then we see him walk in the streets. We hear car horns and tires squealing. Then we see a girl getting ready for bed, Karen. Creature looks at her through the window.
Which is like the first one, right? Remember when Frankenstein's fiance is in there. It's different in that way, but it's still a window like that. He does break in the window. He doesn't kill the woman, does he? Or does he? He doesn't kill his...
In the first one, no.
Yeah, okay.
The girl sees him in the reflection of her mirror, and she screams. He breaks in and suffocates her. She gone.
I thought she passed out because he didn't really touch her.
He leaves the apartment building and other tenants see him because she screams, right? Cut to witnesses. talking to the police. Next, we see Frankenstein reading the paper.
Yeah, there's the story about some crazy young man out there.
Crazed man kills young woman, or something like that.
Yeah.
Frankenstein confronts the creature. He says he didn't mean to hurt the woman. Frankenstein chastises him. Creature promises to obey him, and Frankenstein threatens to destroy him.
Like he's the one who left the door open. It's like he dared him to go out.
Frankenstein tells him not to make a sound until this whole thing blows over, and he locks the creature in the lab. Up in the house, there's a doorbell. Frankenstein goes to answer the door, and
I'm
it's
like,
the
where's the
police.
fiance? Where's Margaret now? 'Cause that's her whole job is to keep people away. But Frankenstein answers the door.
She's not there. They question Professor Frankenstein if he had seen anything. Frankenstein asks for a description, and the police say all 6 witnesses had different descriptions. Frankenstein says, well, if he sees anything suspicious, he will let the police know.
It's funny because he's like, well, just for my own knowledge, in case I do see him, what does he look like? Like and they did have 6 different descriptions, but they all said he had a wacky face.
Next day, I guess, we see Margaret looking at rings. She has invited a jeweler to the house.
She's picked out a nice little 3-carat ring for herself.
Frankenstein arrives and is not happy. He throws the jeweler out.
Yeah, he's just not nice.
Frankenstein and Margaret have words. He doesn't want any strangers in the house. She asks if he is hiding something. Margaret tells him she saw his monster. And she says she has a right to know what he is doing.
But she's throwing all her cards on the table.
She still professes her love for him. They kiss. She tells him his secret is safe.
Yes, because there'll be 2 of us watching it.
Frankenstein says the monster has brought them closer together.
Well, he's like, oh, I like your initiative. You're different than other girls. But he does have like a Han Solo moment. Did you hear it?
I don't know. Does he say, I know?
No, she brought them even closer. She says, I love you. And he says, I don't need to tell you how I feel about you. It's like, damn. But he does say it proves I trust you. And I wrote, he doesn't trust her.
But he gives her a blank check to go buy those wedding rings. Karen.
Yep, he does.
2 or 3 days later, Professor tells the monster that he thinks they are safe, I guess.
But unfortunately...
Well, the creature wants a new face.
Yeah, but doesn't he tell her that doesn't he say at this point there's a
Frankenstein,
woman?
Yeah, Frankenstein tells the creature there is a woman who works for him who is getting in their way.
Yes, so he's not going to get his face because this woman's going to tell everyone what's going on.
Frankenstein tells the creature she will turn him in for the murder and he will be destroyed. And he wants to stop her. And so then we see Margaret asking Frankenstein what she can do to show her gratitude for the ring. Frankenstein tells her that Dr. Carlton is out of town, and he asked her to help him feed the creature. Frankenstein asks Margaret to open the door using her key. She pulls it from her bra. They enter. Margaret gets the hypodermic needle for the monster, or for
Frankenstein. It's his food or something.
It's his food, yeah. Margaret fills the needle like she knows how many cc's he's supposed to get.
Well, she is a nurse. She quit her job as a nurse. So she should be comfortable. But it's a big ass needle. I wouldn't want to see that.
She fills the needle and injects the creature. She says to the creature, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you." Frankenstein says he's going to leave and get some vitamins that the creature needs. Creature has words with Margaret. Margaret goes to run out, but Frankenstein shuts the door. She screams. She gags. She gone.
This is the worst. I think this was the worst scene in the whole movie, really. Because he just slams the door and lights a pipe and listens to her die. That's pretty brutal.
Then we cut the alligator. But Frankenstein saved the engagement ring, Karen. Frankenstein says he will give the creature a new face to reward him. He says he will allow him to pick the face that pleases him. Creature and Frankenstein driving in his 1957 Lincoln Premier sedan. Creature's afraid of being in a car. Frankenstein explains that that's normal. He was killed in a car accident. Frankenstein tells the creature life will become fresh and exciting. Someday Frankenstein will tell the
New face,
world
new
how the
you.
creature was reborn.
Yes. So Frankenstein keeps talking about how famous he's going to be when all this goes down.
So they end up at Lover's Lane. The creature picks a young man's face that he wants. Two kids making out in a car. Creature attacks the man. The woman screams. Back at the lab, the man's head's in a bird cage, Karen. Cut to the police questioning the girl's mother. Mother describes the creature to them. She says her daughter fainted, and when she woke up, Bob was gone.
Which is the head they stole.
Yes, Bob was the girl's first date. He had no enemies and was very popular in school.
And they
And we
do
s-
have a picture of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And we see the creature with Bob's face smiling.
I was like, they're going to have to move. I mean, which they do mention in a few minutes.
Frankenstein says he's quite handsome and shows him a mirror. Dr. Carlton arrives with the equipment he received from 4 different cities as Frankenstein requested. Frankenstein pours him a dry sherry.
Yeah, it wasn't brandy.
Very dry because sweet wines are barbaric.
You Americans. I thought he
Silly
was
Americans.
I thought he was poisoning him here. To just get rid of the last loose end, but no.
Dr. Carlton asks about Margaret. Frankenstein says she disappeared.
She up and left him.
He does show Carlton the ring. She just decided to leave and leave him. Their marriage would never work out, she said. And he says, women make us poor men suffer for their blunders.
I know. I did like that line.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
Frankenstein offers to show Dr. Carlton the creature's new face, and Dr. Carlton wonders where he got it. Dr. Carlton says, it's amazing. Stupendous success.
Yes.
He's more British than Frankenstein.
Right.
Frankenstein says he plans to take the creature to England. But Dr. Carlton says, well, how are you going to do that?
Yeah. And I'm thinking, what are you going to do about the alligators? But whatever.
You got to get him into the country somehow without an identity or a passport or anything, birth certificate. What are you going to do? And Frankenstein explains that he's going to take the creature apart and ship him over in crates.
I was shocked by that. I hadn't read the summary.
Yeah,
yet.
I hadn't either.
And I was like, wow, okay, that's something. They're just going to, he's like, I assembled him. I can disassemble him and reassemble him.
He says when we get to London, he will reassemble him. Dr. Carlton says he cannot be part of such a plan. And Frankenstein says, yes, you will.
And I'm thinking, but wouldn't they need refrigeration? Didn't we go over this? They're going to pack him in ice? How are they going to do it?
Yeah, apparently they're going over on the Queen Mary, too.
Yeah, but that takes a while.
Yeah, I know. So Frankenstein says he's going to operate, and he's going to strap the creature down, tells Dr. Carlton to give him a double dose of sodium pentothal, Karen.
Yes, which is the brand name for the drug, thiopental sodium. It's an ultra short acting barbiturate that has historically been used as an anesthetic. It is no longer manufactured in the United States and has been largely replaced by newer, safer medications like, you know it, and I know it.
Well, I've had it.
We both have propofol.
Propofol.
It was first used in 1939.
Sodium pentothal?
Yes, intravenously to induce general anesthesia for brief procedures. Its rapid onset and quick recovery without nausea associated with older anesthetics like ether made it significant medical advancement.
Frankenstein has the creature get on the table. He says
He just tells him, we're just going to take out your stitches. You're going to be even more beautiful.
Yes. They strap down the creature. The creature resists, and he breaks free. They fight. Creature pushes Dr. Carlton away. He runs out. Creature strangles Frankenstein. And I wrote, breaks his neck, ? Because that went really quick.
Yeah, I think he...
And he throws him to the alligator. Dr. Carlton arrives with the police, like within minutes, apparently.
Yeah, it's like they were right outside.
Or seconds, yeah. They tried to get the creature to come with them and to not resist. The creature slams himself into an electrical board and electrocutes himself in color.
Yes. And as soon as that stops, everything's color.
He gone, I wrote. And then we see Dr. Carlton, is it, saying, I'll never forget his face after the accident. Never. And right, that clip right there, when it fades from Dr. Carlton to the creatures, that is in the Iron Maiden video,
There you
The Number
go.
of the Beast.
Okay. And the final shot, we do get to see the alligator chewing on the lab coat.
Yes. Credits. The end. All right, Karen, what did you think of the Mad Scientist number 3?
It might be
cocktail?
my favorite mad scientist one.
I can't remember the others.
Well, the one was the Skittles.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty good too. They're nice and sweet. What are you going to do? Nice green color and sweet. But I like a good mixer.
You have to dissolve the Skittles in
Well, for
vodka.
that one, yes. But this one, I'm saying it's a very quick green drink, and I like a good mixer. And so this has mixer in it. So I like this drink.
It's very lemon lime.
Yes.
Like you said, you could use Sprite.
Yeah.
Fine.
Be a lot less trouble too.
Yeah, it's good. My double drink is almost evaporated, Karen.
There you go. That stout drink of yours.
It gets better as once again, the ice melts. It was a little tart when I first had it, but the ice mellows it. Anything we learned today, Karen?
We learned about proper body temperature for unembalmed bodies. Sorry, proper room temperature for those. A little bit of Bible study for false prophets. And
thank you, Karen.
that we prefer propofol to, what's it, sodium what?
Pentothal?
Yes. Pretty much it. You did get an Iron Maiden reference in there, though.
I have had sodium pentothal as well, I believe, early in my life. So, but recently it's been that propofol or whatever the hell it is.
It's good shit. You don't remember anything.
Nope. You remember right before you went under. So there's no, memory loss like that. But
no, that's true. Yes.
Like the last thing I remember is them saying, all right, good night.
And then good morning.
Yep.
Welcome back.
We did learn about the 1957 Lincoln Premier sedan as well.
We did.
All right. Anyone you need to thank this week, Karen?
Well, I want to thank our listener. There are so many podcasts out there. Thanks for spending time with us. What about you, Greg? Who do you need to thank?
Well, first, I want to wish my niece, Julia, a very happy birthday.
Aw, happy birthday, Julia.
Apparently her birthday is the same as Mary Shelley's.
Ooh,
Karen.
She's going to be excited to hear that.
Yeah, the 30th. And she'll be 15 years old.
Oh my God, how's that possible?
And I need to thank the people of the Lone Star State, Karen.
Ooh, Texas coming in strong.
And as always, the band Verse 13 for providing all the music in the Scary Spirits podcast.
The music does make the podcast better.
Anything else, Karen?
Please, everyone, drink responsibly.
Yes.
Thanks so much for listening. Want to keep in touch? Check out our website, scaryspirits.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Scary Spirits Podcast. Find us on YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast. If you have questions or comments, you can email us at info@scaryspirits.com. To help us grow the podcast, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We really do appreciate your support. And as always, please drink responsibly.